Right, we're going to be looking at doing the cam profile of a cam here. We've got the cam displacement diagram. First of all, please label the diagram. So place in here rotation in degrees, the scale, whatever scale they've given you. I've got 1:1 over here. Displacement in millimeters. Note, millimeters is not written with capital letters, it's written with small letters. Cam displacement diagram at the top there. You break this line up into 12 equal spaces. The length of that line over there, if they say that the spacing must be 6 millimeters per 30 degrees, calculate that you've got 72 millimeters along here and break that 72 up into the 12 equal spaces. Label it 0, 30, 60, 90, etc., right the way through to 360. After you've done that, read carefully over here what they are asking you to do. It says, from 0 to 120 degrees, the follower rises 70 millimeters. So I must measure up here 70 millimeters. That gives me that mark over there. And it says that it is rising up until that mark. So you find 120 degrees, and from that point at the top there to 0, okay, 0 to the top over there, I've got a line going up. It then says from 120 degrees to 210 degrees, the follower falls 30 millimeters. All right, so I measure off 30 from the top here. Just draw a line across. And I find the 210. There's 210 at that point over there. And I can draw a line going down. It then says from 210 degrees to 300 degrees, the follower dwells. If it dwells, then it is going to remain at that constant level. So in other words, I'm drawing a flat line across there. And then it says from 300 degrees to 360 degrees, the follower returns to its original position, which means that it goes back to 360 at the bottom over there, and that would be your displacement diagram. Right, once I've done that, you have drawn this thing to start with, all right? Before you can even start with that, you have drawn what you're seeing over there, and make sure that this circle over here is done to these dimensions over here. It says the minimum distance from the camshaft center to the cam profile is 20 millimeters. So this distance from there to there is 20 millimeters. You draw an arc down, and that's where you start drawing this thing over here. You draw a line coming across to give you the start of your graph over there. Okay, let's have a look. I'm going to take lines going across from this 30 degrees over here, across to the center line over here. And I'm going to draw a line going around to my 30 degrees. Now, I need to mark off these things first before I can do anything. What direction is this cam rotating in? Okay, it says here the disc cam rotates at a constant velocity following a uniform motion of the wedge-shaped follower. I just need to find the direction of rotation. It says that the rotation is clockwise. In other words, it is moving in this direction. Please place an arrow in before you start anything. There's 0. Where's 30 going to be? 30 needs to be moving towards 0. So my 30 degrees will be on this line. 30 degrees there. 60 degrees there. 90 degrees. 120 degrees. Label these things all the way around. 150 degrees. 180 degrees. 210 degrees. Please remember to put the degrees signs on. 240 degrees. 270 degrees. 300 degrees. 330 degrees, and 360 degrees, which is back at 0. Okay, so I've got those labels on there. make sure you put those on. You get marks for them, so you may as well have the advantage of having that. I take a line coming across from my 30 degree. I place it on that line. I'm going to then rotate around from that line with a pair of compasses set to that radius. I rotate that around until it hits my 30. You could, if you wanted to, place 30 on there, just to remind yourself what you're doing. Take a line coming from 60 degrees. Take that across to that line. Extend your pair of compasses out. Draw that round to the 60 degrees. Knock that off, 60 degrees. You can see, yes, it might take me a little bit longer to write in these things as I go around, but you're less likely to make those mistakes. And it'll be a very quick check to see whether you're getting it right. Take that around. Put the 90 degrees in on the 90 degree line. Then you can have that little check over here. Have I got it in the right place? Go up to the top over here, 120. That's the maximum that you've got over there. Line coming across. Take that around to 120. 120. Coming back down again. Take a line across from this next one down, which is 150. Okay. I need to extend my pair of compasses back now. Take that around, all the way around to 150. Label it 150. Take a line across. Extend your pair of compasses back. It's coming from 180. Line all the way across. 180. Take the line across from to 210. Take that across. Extend your pair of compasses to that point over there. Take that across to 210. It then says that I dwell from 210 all the way to 300. I can then, instead of going back, I just literally draw a nice dark arc going all the way around, representing from 210 to 300. I don't need to draw a freehand curve there. It will have the same radius. And from there down to 330, I need to get a mark from at 330. Take that across. Extend my pair of compasses out. Oops. Take that around to 330. There it is. See that point over there is on 330, so that's 330 over there. And it then goes back to 360, which is that point over there. That would be 360. Once I've got that, you need to use either your French curves or a freehand curve. I would just go with a freehand just to save some time. If you can do it, just go little dots around there, linking up all of these points that you've got.
Please excuse the interruption. Could Shikar, Ram Singh and Cameron McLean go to prefab J now? Thank you.
Nice smooth curve in there. Nice smooth curve coming down here. And that is the cam profile that you should end up with.